Yo, what up, guys? Mag Studios here with a review of the Gamerverse Marvel Legends Velocity Suit Spider-Man from the Demogoblin wave. Let's get it. Alright, now just start off, here is the packaging. It's got like this white design due to it being part of the Gamerverse style. Got some artwork on the side, very nice, from the Spider-Man PS4 game that this suit is based off of. Got the back showing the other figures in the wave. I definitely want to try to get my hands on these three right here, and Shang-Chi. Her I don't really care about. You know, she's cool. It's another Spider-Man character. You know, another Spider-Man villain, I'm assuming. So yeah, this whole wave is definitely dope. I actually really like the Build-A-Figure. I like the glider. So definitely want to try to get the rest of this wave. So man, first impressions on this figure, it's actually looking really cool. I really like the suit in the game. It gives off like this really cool neon blue sort of vibe. In the game, when it's like dark, it actually glows. Obviously, they didn't transfer that onto this figure, but I really do like the paint job, and I like the difference of gloss and the matte paint on this guy. So yeah, let's get this guy open. Alright, yo, so before we get into the actual figure, we're going to go over the accessories that he does come with, which I must say is a little underwhelming. He comes with, obviously, the Demogoblin leg piece. Yeah, nothing, you know, it's just the Build-A-Figure part, so I don't really count it. But he does come with this really cool web accessory. They've been throwing these in a lot with the newer Spider-Man figures, and I really appreciate that, especially, you know, for photography and even for, you know, stop motion animation. I could really appreciate this. They throw in like these web accessories, and this one I actually really like. Now, I'm assuming that this one is so that you kind of, you know, wrap it around a figure. You know, you put it on the top and it's like he's webbed up. So yeah, we're gonna see what that looks like. Alright, so this is the web piece on the SAS Damn Toys figure. This figure is a little bit smaller, so it was a lot easier to, you know, get the webbing around his arms. But, you know, this was a very snug fit, and it does look really nice on camera, especially. I really appreciate, you know, Hasbro giving us more Spidey accessories in terms of webbing. I think it's really cool, and I really like this accessory a lot. That being said, though, that's it. He has no other accessories. Now, yet again, very underwhelming, because these are the only hands that he has. He has one fisted and one webbing hand, webbing action hand. Now, I feel like with every Spider-Man figure, they should at least have, you know, two webbing, two fist, and then like the open palm ones, you know what I'm saying? That come with like the Pizza Spidey. I really feel like they should have given this guy more options, or at least just the two fisted and the two webbing, you know, not one on each hand. And just, I don't know, I feel like they definitely could have added a lot more accessories to this figure, most definitely. Okay, so first we're gonna go over the height. He is about 6 inches, a little bit over, so he is basically your average Marvel Legends size figure. Now, here are a couple of height comparisons I wanted to do. Captain America, who is the average Marvel Legends sized figure, so he's a little bit smaller, but I think the scaling is very nice, especially for the PS4 Spidey. He's supposed to be a little bit older, more experienced, so he's going to be a bit taller. He's definitely taller than the Damn Toys SAS figures, But I really like those figures, and obviously with photography and stop motion, you could play with the scaling a bit to make them a little bit more even, but I do like that a lot. And the NECA Predator figure, the concrete jungle one, towers over this guy, but you know, that is meant for a more 7-inch scale figure. But of course, with playing with uh, you know, scaling for photography and stop motions, you can make it work most definitely. Now, going over paint and sculpt, this figure is really clean when it comes to paint. When I was examining it before I started this review, and I really wasn't seeing any splotches of paint anywhere. The red and the blue looks really nice, and it's overall really clean on the figure. I really like the light blue that they gave this figure for, you know, that glowing energy effect, but you know, obviously they couldn't transfer it onto this figure, but that light blue is really nice, and it does look really cool on this figure. But also, this figure really isn't too busy in terms of sculpt. It's just like a really cool sleek design for Spidey, but also at the same time being a more armored up version. It's like a really nice mixture between the two. And you know, this guy, he looks straight out of the video game. Like, if you wear the armor in the game, it looks just like this. So, if you're looking, you know, if you really like that outfit in game, they really did a good job of transitioning the look from the game into this figure. Now, that being said, if you don't really care too much about the Spider-Man figures in this wave, you know, because they're from the game, I completely get that. I totally get that. But like for me, I really like building up my Spider-Verse, and I feel like this guy just, you know, stands out on the shelf, you know? Especially with the rest of the Spider-Men, I feel like he's definitely a really cool addition in terms of, you know, look. Now, talking about articulation on this figure has a bit to be desired in terms of articulation. You know, with a Spider-Man figure, you really want as much articulation as possible because you really want to get him into those agile poses. Now, with this figure, he has a couple of issues. He doesn't have butterfly joints. Now, I feel like every Spider-Man figure should have butterfly joints, you know, to get those agile positions. And also, his body is a little bit you know, his ab crunch isn't the best, and it also kind of looks weird, especially when you start moving the ab crunch back. There is a gigantic hole like right in the middle of the chest, and it's really obvious. So, you know, if you're taking photos and you're trying to make it look like Neo from the Matrix, you know, him dodging bullets and stuff, that hole is really like exposed, that gap right here. And it's okay. It's not crazy far back, as you can see, but it gets the job done. It's like one click. And then forward, it's not the best. And there's also like an issue where you can't really get his legs to get like super agile, but we'll go over that in a second. Now, what I mean by his legs is like they can't go up all the way. Like this is, I don't know if there's too much gap in between the waist, the ab crunch, and the legs, but look, you know what I'm saying? It's not as agile as, you know, you would want it. You would want the legs to be a bit more higher up, so then he could. And that's another thing. The butterfly joints, he would have been able to get that iconic Spider-Man webbing downward pose. You know what I'm saying? But there's no butterfly joints there, so he can't really get into that agile position. But that being said, this guy has nice articulation. It's just those two things, or those three things, that kind of bugged me about this figure. So let's go over the articulation as a whole. He has a ball hinged head, so it could go 360, it could go far up, and it could go down. and there is a little bit of tilt, barely actually. And then he has ball in his shoulders, so they go out, and then they go all the way around. He has a swivel on the arm that could go 360. He has double jointed elbows. He has a wrist hinge going up and down, and then it does go 360. And like I said, there's like, it's at mine, I don't know if this is for everybody, but this ab crunch is actually very smooth in terms of how it moves, so that's very good for stop motion. There's no like clicks, so it goes back that far and it goes forward that far. And then he does have a waist swivel, and then for the legs, they go up and they barely go back. So yet again, for swinging poses, it's not going to be the best. They go out really far, getting close to doing a split. And then double jointed knees. He has a thigh swivel as well. And then he has ankle rockers, and his feet go down that much, which is very nice. And then they also go up that much, so you can get him in some cool running positions. Okay, so my overall thoughts on this figure. If you really don't like the design of this, then I mean, I would totally understand if you didn't get this figure out of the wave. But, you know, you kind of need him in order to build Demogoblin. But I think the look of this figure is really nice. It's very reminiscent to the game, the outfit in the game. And I think he looks really, really cool on the shelf with the rest of the Spider-Verse characters, too. I mean, you could come up with your own backstory for this guy to be, you know, a different Spider-Verse character. You know, really get those creative juices flowing. Especially for stop motion, too. Now, that being said, he does have a few, I guess it's me nitpicking, but I don't know at the same time, because he really should have butterfly joints. His legs should be able to go a bit farther up, so you can get those really cool web swinging positions, like every Spider-Man figure should. He should definitely have come with more accessories in terms of hand accessories. I really do like the webbing accessory that he did come with, though. I think that's a really nice addition. And yeah, I think he's a good figure overall. Definitely not the best looking out of the wave. I think the armored Spider-Man figure does look a bit cooler than this outfit, but overall I really do like the overall aesthetic of this figure. Alright guys, that was my review on the Velocity Suit Spider-Man Marvel Legends figure from the Demogoblin wave. Now, comment, like, subscribe, let me know what you guys think of the video, let me know what you guys think of the review, and let me know what figure you guys would like to see me review next out of my collection, or just any new figures. Should I review more figures from this line, from the Demogoblin wave? Yeah, just let me know in the comments down below. So, yeah. Alright guys, I'm out of here. Peace.